Hi, I hope everyone's having a good afternoon. I wanted to share a message that God put on my heart today. God showed me a bird's nest when I was praying this morning, and the bird was building its nest with sticks and brush, and it was high above into the trees. And as it was building its nest, I could tell that it was hiding, and as it was building its nest with sticks, and the way it was building it, it was making sure that it was safe from anything from danger. And this reminded me a lot of Matthew 7:24. If you build a solid foundation that can't be shaken, no matter what comes at you, Jesus will make sure that you will get through it. Even if the most challenging things comes at you, God will use life challenges as a testimony and bring you through it. And sometimes right in front of other people. And that will show God's sovereignty. And even sometimes that will lead other people to him. Matthew 7:24. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. Obeying Jesus doesn't prevent the storms from coming into our lives, but with Jesus, you can survive them. You're not going to be able to avoid storms. I feel like a lot of people think that just because, you obey God's commands or, you pray and make sure that you're doing everything right or trying to do everything, the right way, that you're not going to have anything wrong go in happen in your life, or you're not going to have storms, or you're not going to have enemies or things, those things aren't going to happen to you, but they will. We're all going to go through it. But here's what it says, Matthew 25, and the rain fell and the floods and the winds blew and beat on the house, but it did not fall because it had been founded on the rock. It's not just about hearing the words, it's about practicing them and acting on them. Everyone who hears these words of mine does not act on them will be like the foolish man who built his house on sand. And that's verse 26. We've all been there where we have, built something that just did not last. But there's a way through God, and build on the words of Jesus instead of just on your own work. And through God's way, it will stand. Jesus is telling us that if we obey his teachings, that we will be able to stand firm and undergo the trials and storms, and we will have a solid foundation to stand on. And if we don't, we will collapse under pressure. And I have faith that you will be able to have a solid foundation and stability if you listen to Jesus's teachings. And I pray that you have a blessed day.